Hey yogis, in this practice, I'm going to be leading you through a gentle flow devoted all to heart opening. So finding some stretches just for the chest, the shoulders, some, feel good holds and all of that good stuff. You will need a yoga block, so just make sure that you have one and we'll go ahead and hop in. So as far as centering, we're going to begin in a supported fish pose with our yoga block. So we're going to place this on the lowest level at the top of the mat and then come to recline back so that the block lands right underneath your shoulder blades. So as you land here, you're going to be able to recline back. Just make sure that you feel nice and supported. Your shoulders are going to open, hands out to the side. You can bring your feet to the mat just to maintain some balance, or you can extend the legs long if that feels okay. I like to keep the knees bent. If you land in this shape and you find that it's pretty intense or this height feels too much in your body, feel free to just grab a blanket and you can just roll it up to bring it right underneath the shoulders, or just skip the block for this pose altogether. And as you land, we'll just find a little bit of space in the heart. Whenever we have tightness or tension, sometimes just allowing ourselves to open and, find space can be good. So just notice if you have any difficulty with settling into stillness, and sometimes you may just need to take a couple of deep breaths, let something go. We won't be here for too long, so if there's any discomfort, just observe and take note. See if you can allow yourself to soften around any resistance or any clenching or tightening that you may be experiencing. And just take a couple of breaths just to come into your body, come into this place. Really focusing on this idea of creating space. So whenever I find a flow with heart opening or gentle back bends, I always think about creating space, creating room for whatever we need in this moment, giving ourselves permission to feel what shows up when we open our heart space. And just taking time to notice. We'll just take another breath or two here. And then when you're ready, slowly begin to bend the knees if the legs were extended. We'll bring the hands at the side, and two choices. You can either rock over to one side or just press into the forearms to lift yourself up. We'll tuck chin to chest as you gently roll yourself up. We'll come to neutralize the spine, so just bringing the feet to the mat. Take a few moments to close the eyes. So sometimes when we find heart opening, it can take a little bit for our body to just readjust. So notice any changes. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and rock over, come into a tabletop position. So take a moment to slide your block off to the side. We'll bring hands right underneath the shoulders, knees under hips, and begin to shift through gentle cat and cow. So just countering that heart opening, finding movement as you just lead with the heart here. So rounding and opening. We'll just take another round in each direction. And when you're ready, we'll find a neutral spine, keeping your hips over your heels, move into puppy dog, Anahatasana. So walking the hands forward, melting the chest down to the mat. Maybe the forehead comes to touch. And just take a couple of breaths here. Find some opening in the shoulders. Continue to breathe deeply. And just take another breath in. Move forward, slowly releasing, gaze to the fingertips and slide forward out to Sphinx pose. So dropping the hips down to the mat, we land on the forearms, spreading the fingers nice and wide, and lightly grip, I always say like a rock climber. So pull the heart through, shoulders away from the ears, and we find that opening in the chest. Maybe you close the eyes here if that feels okay. Just creating space across the collarbone, broadening the shoulders, relaxing them away from the ears. We'll just take another breath here. Before slowly releasing chest down to the mat, take a moment to bend the knees. You can drop the cheek to one side and we'll just swing, rock, windshield wiper the leg side to side. Just take a moment to soften. And then when you're ready, we'll release the feet down to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders as we find growing cobra. So as you inhale, we'll press down into the mat. Peel the chest up. Exhale, slowly lower yourself back down. Find that 2 more times. So inhale, peeling your heart up. Exhale, lower down. And last time, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. And slowly tuck the toes under. Shift the hips back to the heels. As we come into this child's pose with tucked toes, so landing belly onto the thighs, continue to reach the hands out in front of you. Maybe you tint through the fingertips as you lift the elbows off of the mat. So finding that length along the arms, through the back. We'll take just 1 more breath here. And then slowly tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. So first one of the practice, so feel free to pedal the legs if needed. Maybe rise onto the toes. Just find any movement that feels most intuitive before gradually settling into stillness. And as you land, just take a deep breath in and a bigger breath out. Next inhale, we'll extend the right foot high to the sky. Find some space there. And exhale, step the foot forward. We'll come into low lunge. So feel free to help the foot along if needed. Inhale, reach both hands high to the sky. Peel yourself up. So as you land, we'll just take a moment to find a place of stillness. So find your foundation. Notice the areas where you're touching the earth. So grounding through that right foot, the heel in particular, grounding through the left knee. And I invite you to keep the toes tucked under or bring the tops of the foot to the mat, whatever makes you feel most supported or most at ease here. And on your next inhale, we'll find a little bit more space. So opening through the heart, shoulders away from the ears. We'll begin to cactus through the arms. So draw those elbows in line with the shoulders. Take the arms around. We'll extend forward and down as we sweep the hands right back up to the sky. So finding full arm circles here. So cactusing the arms, take them down and around, scooping the ground up, lift it right back up to the sky. Find that a few more times, just going at your pace, maintaining the strength in the legs, keeping the tightness and strength of the core to protect the low back. Let's find this 1 more time, reach it up. We'll cactus it down and around, and after this last time, allow the hands to meet the mat. From here, planting the left hand down, we'll extend the right hand high to the sky, simple twisted lunge. Take a breath in. As you exhale, cactus the arm, so we're squeezing that elbow back, drawing the shoulder blade back towards one another. And then extend the hand out in front of you. We'll find that a few more times. So cactus the arm, take it back, and then reach it high. 1 more time. Cactus the arm, bend through the elbow. And then reach it high. We'll take the hand forward, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, step back to plank pose. Take 1 full breath in your plank. Lower knees, chest, and chin all the way to the mat. Cobra pose, heart scoops forward. Hips to heels, child's pose. Again, tuck the toes under as you land the hips onto the heels. So finding that active stretch in the upper body. We'll take another breath here. And then slowly lift the hips right back up, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left heel extends high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. Again, we're softening the knee down, and then once you ground, inhale, both hands go high. So finding your space to settle and ground. We take a moment just to land again, find that foundation, find that rooting through the left foot and the right knee. And then we find our flow. So as you inhale, cactus the arms, take it open, sweep it down and around, and right back up to the sky. just going with your pace. So you'll notice as you sweep it down, while you're finding that opening through the arms and through the chest, you're also finding strength through the legs to maintain your stability and continue to hold yourself up. Let's take this one more time. We'll sweep it back and around. And after that last time, we'll land hands down to the mat to frame the foot. From here, right hand plants, left hand goes high, gaze to the thumb for your twist. Once again, we open cactus through the arm, draw the shoulder blade back, and then reach it high. Just finding that gentle move 2 more times, so cactus and open, reach it high, and last time, cactus and open, reach it high, and then allow that hand to meet the mat. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, we step back to plank pose. This time we lower all the way down to our belly, knees, chest, and chin. So as you land, we're gonna move into locust. So bring the big toe mounds to touch, bring the hands to the side. And as you inhale, begin to peel the chest off of the mat, shoulder blades draw towards one another. Float the hands away from the mat and float the feet away from the mat. Continue to keep the length in the back of the neck. So think about crown of the head reaching forward and those toes extending behind you. And then from that, you find your lift. We'll just take 3 steady breaths here. Just maintaining, staying with it. Last breath in and release, let it go. Drop the cheek to one side. We'll return to those windshield wipers. So bending the knee, gently rocking the leg side to side. And when you're ready, softening the feet down, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, pressing back, hips to heels, child's pose. Just take a moment to ground and soften. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly begin to peel yourself up. We're gonna shift the hips over to one side, come to a seat as you swing the legs out in front of you. From here, bringing the soles of the feet together, we're coming into diamond pose. So you're gonna find a little bit more space between your heels and your pelvis, so you're creating this diamond with your legs. An option to drape the arms over the legs, or maybe you thread them under, and we're rounding through the spine here. So tucking your chin to chest, just allowing the upper body to hang heavy, kind of just countering all of that opening action that we've been doing. Dropping your chin to chest and allowing yourself just to release for a moment. And we'll just take another couple of breaths here to pause and observe. And when you're ready, slowly begin to peel yourself back up. You can bring the hands to the outside of the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Maybe find some gentle windshield wipering side to side. And then we'll slowly make our way down to your back. So coming to recline completely. Option to find a full body stretch, or maybe pull knees into chest when you land. Just whatever feels most intuitive in your body. Just take a couple of breaths to acknowledge the shift to your back. And then in your own time, we'll bring the soles of the feet to the mat, setting up for bridge pose. So we're gonna bring the feet about hip distance apart. See if you can lightly graze the back of the ankles with your fingertips. We'll find flowing bridges first. So as you inhale, slowly begin to peel the hips off of the mat, finding space as you lift up. And then exhale, lower the hips right back down. We'll just find this a few more times. So inhale, lifting up, finding space. Exhale, lowering hips back down. And just a few more times, lifting up and lowering down. One more time, inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lower. Take a moment to land, just soften for just a feet. And for our next lift, we're gonna find a static hold. So lifting up and holding this time. So as you arrive, option to begin to walk the shoulders in just a little bit more underneath the body. You can find a bind, interlace the fingers, and root down through the feet to lift up through the hips. And we'll just stay steady with your breath, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another as you find that opening. Take another breath here, maybe lift a little bit higher, and then slowly release hips down to the mat. Gentle windshield wiper of the legs. And we'll just take a moment to breathe and notice. And then option to find any last final shapes that you need in this practice. So maybe that's pulling knees into the chest. Maybe that is happy baby, or legs up the wall, extending the feet up. Whatever you need here. Just taking a couple of moments to feel and notice. And then we'll land in our Shavasana, so taking a moment to extend the legs long, hands at your side, getting comfortable, and then we'll just take a few moments of stillness. And when you're ready, begin to bring awareness back into this moment. Find small movement if you choose, or deepen the breath a little bit more. And in your own time, we'll make our way back up to a cross-leg position. And on your next inhale, extending both hands high overhead, pressing the palms together and hands down together to your heart center. Sealing in your practice. Namaste.